I'm a child of the sun, descend from African kings. Let the wings of my words lift up the story as I sing up the time that I thrived in the cradle of man. Amongst the riches of the earth when I belonged to the land, roots firm, reaching deep into the soil below.
Whoa! Ah!
I had never heard of Pinkster before.
Never heard of Pinkster before.
I had never heard of Pinkster.
Pinkster was originally brought here by the Dutch who settled this area in the 1600s. It was a celebration of the Pentecost, but how it became a black thing is that there were a lot of enslaved Africans around here in the north that were given the day off because it was a holiday. By the 1800s, when the Dutch by then became American, they started celebrating Election Day and the 4th of July and things like that. And we still embraced Pinkster, which had become ours because it was the rare time where we could express our true humanity.
I love the celebration of it. I love the way that we continue with the storytelling and the drumming and the experiencing of food and the way we look at our ancestors, our African ancestors, as well as those people who were enslaved.
Pinkster, the way that it has been adapted, the way that it was adapted in service of celebration, was in sharp contrast to the atrocities that were done here and in this region to enslaved African people here.
You know how grandmas love their kids, their grandchildren. So grandma took care of things and
We need to see the humanness. We need to see who we are and how we deal with things. And that happens through storytelling. There's so many different kinds of storytelling. There's the folk tales. There's a whole genre of African American storytelling called Jack tales, where Jack is kind of a trickster, but he outsmarts people. And some of that combines some of the European tales, and some of it has the African and the African American tales. May their firstborn child never speak again until something equally as foolish happens to them.
we were in another place. She told me that she was transitioning and things were gonna change, that I'd never see her again, but we would speak in other ways, that I descended from a queen and let no one take that away, and that the king my father was, I would be similar one day, and that my soul is a possession wicked men would try to claim, but I was property of the gods from the cradle to the grave, but my descendants would endure hardships, take many pains. Ghosts would shackle us in chains, they would lock us in their cages, but we would persevere, sing our songs, and write our names on the walls of history and revolutionary change.
I thought that we should reimagine the holiday, and it does not have to be about staying in the past. I wanted to deal with, the timeless African American experience. We still live under very oppressive circumstances today. So we still need to today find opportunities for joy.
When you think about Pinkster, traditionally how it was celebrated and recognized, people would dress up in the clothes and the coat and participate in the culture the way they did in the 1700s and 1800s and so on and so forth. But when you think about people of color during that time, we were enslaved. And so remembering is a little different for us. There's trauma attached to it. And so I think the idea of going back and looking at what's the root and the idea and the concept behind this holiday, right? And taking that at principle, leaving some of the traumatic stuff behind, and now bringing it forward and celebrating it in a way that can be relevant and useful for people now.
It's love and it's imagination that creates a story, and that love and imagination can create a whole reality. So when I say Pinkster, I'm bringing forward that energy. I'm bringing forward that memory, and I'm keeping it alive. That's why we pour libations. That's why we speak over the water. If I can create something with my hands, I feel more empowered to create my future. I feel more empowered to say, I'm gonna build a legacy. And so in that space is liberatory. It's Afrofuturism.
I am he, started rising to the rumble of the beat. My ancestors making waves by the rumble of their feet. Boom, 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 synchronizing with the heartbeat in my chest. Rhythm propelling through the depths and dark waters of the sea. This is me, I'm going back into the stomach of the beast, about to reanimate my body and restore its sovereignty. I am he, started rising to the rumble of the beat. My ancestors making waves by the rumble of their feet. Boom, boom, boom.